In a turn of events that can only be described as extraordinary, Donald Trump was sentenced without penalty in New York on Friday. That's right. The headline you're reading is, as ironic as it may seem, one for the history books. This wasn't just any court date. It was a hearing that marked the first felony conviction of a former U.S. president soon to step back into the Oval Office. So there he was, Donald J. Trump, poised to address Judge Juan Merchan in a case that many have followed with bated breath. The courtroom drama unfolded remotely, with Trump delivering his statements via virtual connection from the opulent surroundings of Mar-a-Lago. As the world watched, he took the opportunity not to show remorse, but instead to unleash a familiar spiel about a political witch hunt. Yes, same old tune, just a different stage. Judge Juan Merchan, faced with the daunting task of sentencing a president-elect, spoke to Trump for several minutes. He made it clear that the legal protections afforded to the leader of this nation, not the person holding the title, led to an unconditional discharge. This is about the sanctity of the presidency, he emphasized, reminding everyone that it's the office, not its transient occupants, that comes with extraordinary legal shields. The court proceedings were loaded with symbolism, and the atmosphere was thick with history in the making. It wasn't just another day in the New York court system. It was a day that would ripple through the pages of history. With a 5-4 nod from the U.S. Supreme Court, the hearing moved forward, despite Trump's vehement objections. As Judge Merchan wrapped up what many had anticipated to be a dramatic climax, Trump chose to seize the moment, virtually of course. He launched a verbal barrage aimed at everyone from prosecutors to fellow conspirator Michael Cohen. His arguments were underpinned by claims of unjust treatment and fueled by his resolve to fight on. "This has been a very terrible experience," Trump declared, letting his words hang in the digital ether. And let's not forget his claims of validation from the electorate. As Trump recounted his path back to the presidency, he pointed to his electoral victories in all 7 swing states. The people had spoken. They understood what had unfolded in court, he suggested. They watched your trial, they saw what happened, he said, implicitly crediting his political comeback partially to the very legal drama that sought to undermine him. While no penalties were imposed, this wasn't a consequence-free moment for Trump. The imagery alone, a convicted felon stepping into the world's highest office, is staggering. The unconditional discharge reaffirms his status, allowing him to walk free without any fines or probation hanging over him. However, it's a verdict that at the same time serves as the procedural endpoint of this case, clearing a path for Trump and his team to push through the appellate courts. Assistant District Attorney Josh Steinglass was quick to underline the potential damage Trump's actions have inflicted on public perception of the justice system. Steinglass castigated the former president for lacking remorse and for stirring distrust in democratic processes. "This defendant has caused enduring damage," Steinglass said, ensuring his words were noted by all those watching. What made the trial even more intriguing was the decision to release an audio recording of the hearing, an unusual move for this case that allowed the public to hear Judge Merchan's cautious yet firm tone. Judge Merchan relayed to those listening in that, despite the unprecedented nature of the events outside the courtroom doors, the legal procedures were standard. Still, Judge Merchan left a caveat. While the presidency brings extraordinary protections, it doesn't have the power to erase a jury's verdict. One power they do not provide is the power to erase a jury verdict, Merchan asserted, ensuring that the public understood the limits of presidential authority. As the sentencing wrapped up, questions about what might have been lingered. Could July's outcome have been different? Would Trump have faced a heftier punishment without the twist of electoral fate on his side? Legal analysts may continue to debate these points, but for now, they remain nothing more than speculative musings. On the legal front, Trump's team isn't hanging up its gloves just yet. They're set to continue challenging the conviction, armed with the Supreme Court's recognition of broad presidential immunity. "We're going to appeal anyway, just psychologically, because frankly, it's a disgrace," Trump stated from Mar-a-Lago. His team plans to fight tooth and nail through every available legal avenue, a battle that promises to drag on for years. As Trump prepares to assume office again, defense attorneys who stood by his side in court are now gearing up for roles in his administration. The legal odyssey isn't over, paving the way for appeals that could escalate all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, if necessary. Judge Merchan concluded his last words to Trump with a nod to the challenges lying ahead. "Sir, I wish you Godspeed as you assume your second term in office." His words closed a chapter, but also hinted at the tumultuous road that lies ahead, a story far from its conclusion. Stay tuned, for this saga is one that will undoubtedly continue to evolve, shaping debates and dialogue in ways yet unforeseen.